One of the best songs ever made, ever written, ever crafted by one of the best guitar players that's ever lived. I'll take it to my grave. Fight me. And yes, Dave Davidson is factually one of the greatest guitar players that's ever lived. That's my own opinion. And we're all allowed our opinions in life. Hi, everybody. How the fuck are you? My name is Tyler. Let's get the chat up and running. And I can see there's probably, hey, it's 4 people here. That's nice. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate ya. Today we're going to talk about a few things. Today is going to be, yesterday's stream was kind of lame. I watched back through it. It was kind of fucking, woo. I almost let a no-no word drop. It was shitty. Oh, that's good. I know I said I would drink tea, but it's Friday, so I'm drinking a pop. Sue me. I needed a fucking pop. How's it going, Kyle? Kyle, nice to see you. Actually, that's Carl, not Kyle, but still. How the fuck are you? My name is Tyler, and welcome to the AmpSim Show, episode 166. And today, thank you. This episode, I wouldn't say it's sponsored by, because they didn't give me any money, but they gave me some free stuff. So thank you so much to Bogren Digital. I reached out to them for the Trivium amp knobs because I wanted to complete the collection for promotional purposes. I don't like, again, it's one of those things where I especially when it comes to like new developers that don't know us that well, it's trying to convince people that we don't hoard plugins here. Most of the guys on the staff here, we use it, we use it, we abuse it. Like we go all in on a plugin and we rip it all apart. We do our due diligence. And then after that, most plugins, I'm not going to lie to you guys, most plugins get swept away. If I didn't do this channel, if I didn't do this show, I would only be using a handful of plugins. And I still really only use a handful of plugins. But we'll get to that another time. My point is, I don't just stockpile things here. The only reason I like to stockpile is because I like to create content with this stuff for longer than the trial period. Alright? So what are we doing today? We're hanging out with this guy right here. This is the MLC Sub-01 Hundo. I'm excited about this. I'm very excited about this plugin. This was the first one that came out, and I got him. I don't know, just stop doing that stupid shit. Fuck off. Can I not just drag it up to here and just have you leave me alone? Fuck off. I hate that. I love me some vector UIs though. This looks great. If you have not tried this plugin, skip this stream altogether. Don't even watch this stream. Go download the free trial right now. It's on sale, autumn sale. And we are giving away a plugin today. You're going to get your choice. Your choice of amp knob. Bundles not included. And man, I could definitely suggest a few to you guys, but you guys could just watch the stream from yesterday or some of the stream a little bit later on. Second half, I'm going to go all in on the Marshall amp knobs. And but for starters here, we're going to go over the MLC with my wonderful Mindsinger Tempest. And gosh, do I love this guitar. I have to turn up this light, though. Hold up, folks. I'm going to turn up this light. Doodly-doo. I'm going to turn up that light. Whatever reason, my lighting's just starting to suck. And this guitar does not look half as brilliant as it should. And that's kind of a bummer, so I got to figure that out. All right. What do we got for just basic-ass tone? I haven't played this guitar in a while. I haven't played this guitar in a little bit, and it's in perfect tune from last time I played it. Been sitting in a case, and it's just these ratio tuners from Graphtech, man. I would, if I had all the money in the world, and I was getting custom guitar after custom guitar, like you see some of these guys on some of these pages like Rig Talk, where these guys are just busting out these. It's just like, it's a competition on that page. I'm convinced it's competition. It's just who can spend the most money and buy the coolest shit. And that's okay, because I love watching that. I love watching rich dudes flex and just buy cool shit so I can look at it. Even in picture form, that's fine. If you want to see a lot of that, I would go even to the archives of Rig Talk. And again, my hands are just feeling grimy. Clammy and grimy. I really need to bring a towel here, something that I can just like wipe my hands on. Like maybe some sort of microfiber. And this is a Mindsinger Tempest. This is armed with a Roartone. This is the Roartone Singularity Bridge and an ultraviolet neck. So yeah, pretty sweet. If you haven't noticed, this amp has two tube types. Essentially, this is two amps in one plugin and then one graphic. These are two different amps. This amp does not accept 6L6 or EL34. There are just different versions of this amp. There's a 6L6 version and there's an EL34 version. You get access to both. And if you're out there and you're like, what the heck's the difference? Go and do that research straight up here. Difference between EL34 and 6L6. There's a bajillion videos that you can find in that search bar above my head. And there's real smart dudes who'll tell you way better than I will. All right. So there's 3 independent channels, and they do not share. It's not as if they all share a control panel. You'll notice there that things are a bit different there, right? And it'll save your settings as you kind of scroll around. So I like that as well. That's always a cool thing. So we are they're just playing around here at this point, and I'm having a good time doing it. And I'm going to bring back the input. So let me get this set up and then we'll get to the comments here, folks. So this is clean. Are any pedals armed right now? None. And these pedals are both bad ass as well. I'm gonna go to the cab. I don't really like the stock setup for mics here. So I'm just gonna go and we all have our own thing, right? We all have our own thing as to like what's good, what's not. And in this particular case, they provide you with what I think, it's a good selection of mics. Maybe these are the only mics that, maybe these are the only mics or the main mics that Jens likes to work with. I'm not 100% sure on that one. And I'm going to turn off the IRDX, and I'll tell you why. It's just because I'll be honest, and I can be honest, and it is what it is. It's not that I don't like the feature. It's that I don't need it. If the IRDX is for you, check it out. If it's not for you, don't check it. You try it out either way, and then you kind of form your own opinion on that. I feel like it's sort of in the middle. You see people that are kind of this way and that on it. All right, so we're on clean. We're gonna go to the second channel. All right, cool. So I'm still smashing on that input. And I don't know why, because I'm just right about here. It shouldn't be smashing the input too hard. Ah, wait a minute. We have a pedal on from yesterday, don't we? Yep, sure do. That was what was hitting the input. All right. All right, now we're good. I was wondering why it sounded kind of strange. But these are things that happen from time to time. We were using a mixture of things yesterday, and these things happen. All right, so now we're good. I'm feeling much better about this tone. And if you're not aware, the Sub-Zero, it might not look like it because it looks all futuristic and it looks all metal and tough. But, and I'm not saying that in like a bad way. These amps look fucking badass. But essentially the MLC Sub-Zero series was born of Marshall love. Much like Friedman, much like Soldano, much like many companies started Splon. So many other companies that started, and they're companies based on a love for Marshall amps and being inspired by Marshall designs, and then tweaking them to their own, to their own perfections. So, and that is exactly what the Sub-Zero series, as far as I understand it, is. And that is being a sort of a, like it's got Marshall at the core somewhere. Is Bo here? If Bo's not here, he'd be able to tell me. Wow, we are slow in the chat here, folks. Slow. What is going on, everybody? How are you? Nice to see you guys. Pedro, Kyle, good to see you. Ton Guitarra, and then that's 3 of you. Who else is in here? Come on, say hi. It's Friday. Introduce yourself, jump into our chat, and let's get this Friday going. All right, let's get this going together, and let's have some fun with it, because I'm absolutely elated to not be at work right now, as you can imagine. So it's 6L6, and here's the L34. And there are obviously a few guitar players using these MLCs right now. Celano's being one, Vogue from Decapitated being, in my opinion, just in my own world, maybe a little, not more notable necessarily, but in my own world, like I think both those guys are kind of up here for me. Both those guys have played on records that have influenced me and motivated me and so on and so forth, right? So, but I would love to see it. Bogren Digital, if you're listening, can we get a Vogue plugin? Because if not, I'm going to reach out to that guy and get something going. I would love to, but I know there's very likely a relationship already there, being that Vogue is Polish and Jacek is Polish. And MLC, if I'm not mistaken, MLC is where's MLC? Where are they made? Is it Polish as well, or is it Czech? Where are MLC amps made? Poland. Yeah. So I mean, Polish amp company, Polish guitarist, Polish. We'll call it like not the main man, but like, you know, Jacek is a huge part, a massive monster part of Bogren Digital. So let's see it, guys. I would love to see something done for one of the greatest to ever play death metal. Vogue. Can we agree that Vogue is one of the greatest to ever play death metal? I would agree. I'll agree with myself. All right, let's get some brightness in here. Anybody know what song that is that was slightly out of tune? Scullage. How the fuck did you just hear that? Like, were you here already? But I was to my understanding, the MLC amps are kind of birthed from Marshall Love. Much like also the Diamond Sound, also made in Poland by a company called the Boga. Another Marshall Love. Wow, delicious. Hey guys, I can't sleep, but my back hurts today down my leg and knee. Is that sciatic? Is it your left side? That sounds like sciatic issues. I'm always hunched. Guys, I got to figure this out in a way I can... Oh, my neck is... I've got to get a new pillow. My neck is absolutely killing me. So we're going to have to do this instead, where I can't slouch or like get my neck all... I really have to make sure I'm trying to take care of my body a little bit more. This is a great fucking punk rock tone. Holy shit. Anybody know that song? Get at me. If you know that song, get at me. This is driving me crazy. I need to get like wet naps or something. Tyler summons Bo. No, more like Bo summons me, if anything. Bo is just like, I wish I had a Bo button. Honestly, I feel like my life would be drastically simplified if I had like, you know, like some people have like, you know, in Rick and Morty, there's like the Mr. Meeseeks or whatever his name is. It'd be awesome if I had just had like a Bo, or I could just be like, bam, and he just pop up and solve problems. Because that's what he does here for us. And not only for us, but also for plugin developers. Want to toot the horn of Bo a little bit here. He's been doing some unbelievable work. And you guys are going to start to see that work starting in, well, you've already seen it, some of it anyways. You've already definitely seen a lot of this man's genius. But how much do we appreciate him is just maybe I'm going to say he's underappreciated. Excuse me. But you guys are going to start to see and hear shortly exactly what I mean by that, with some couple of new releases that are going to be coming out over the next couple of months here. And I think I finally found a nice comfy place to put this. So maybe I can fix this now. Sorry, guys. Aha. Here we go. Thank you. So you guys are going to be seeing and hearing a couple of new plugins that are coming out, I would say over the next, I would say December, November, December. We're definitely gonna be tooting this dude's horn a lot on a lot of problems solved, a lot of really great things made. So thanks to Bo for that. As we continue to work our way through the plugin industry and, you know, trying to help various developers through various products and doing all the things that we do here. We have graphic designers here. We have artist relations specialists and product specialists, like myself and Bo, of course. We all have a different set of skills. But I would say that we are a perfect team here now. I think we finally found our last and final member with Zan. And I think we are a very tight-knit group, and I think it's going to stay that just the way it is. I don't think there's going to be any more additions for the foreseeable future. But I just want to thank the entire team here at the AmpSim Universe. There are many of us, and we have a group chat. And that group chat this week has ranged from... I'm not even going to... At one point, we were talking about Steve-O's drug addiction of some sort, and laughing gas, or something to that effect. The next minute, we're talking about Marshalls. The next minute, we're talking about a new plugin. The next minute, we're talking about Tonex. The next minute, Philippe is talking about some new processor and modeler that he's got. And this conversation is constantly rolling. I wake up, and there's often, like, tons and, like, 30, 40, 50 messages in the group chat. So it moves fast, and we are often productive. So thank you for watching us. Thank you for... And... of course, thank you for being a part of this team if you are, in fact, staff in the chat. Getting back to it now. Damn, dude. I'm 47 years old. I fell the other day. I slipped. I didn't even slip. I didn't fall. I slipped just a little bit and kind of fell on my butt, but I was on this hill, small hill. It wasn't even anything. It was a fucking nothing burger. And then all of a sudden, I feel like my glute or something in the back start to fucking hurt. I'm like, really? That's all it fucking takes at this point in my life? I just like literally, I'm walking down this steep little ditch hill to get a disc. And I kind of did this little shimmy where I went whoop, and just a little tap on the bum. Whoop. I was like, oh, that was no big deal. Then I'm walking. I was like, what the fuck? It really is just like the memes, though. If you're like a 25-year-old or a 22-year-old or even a 30-year-old and you see those memes where it's like, haha, you know, being an adult, all you need to do to see your doctor is sleep wrong the wrong way once, and all of a sudden you're applying for disability. You know, it's just like shit like that. It is that bad. It is that bad. It really is. You can sleep with your neck the wrong, just slightly the wrong way, and all of a sudden you're fucked for a week. It sucks. All right, now getting to it. This is the MLC Sub-Zero 100, one of the greatest sounding sims. It really is an amazing sounding sim. We've got the modern cab, we've got the vintage cab, and we could go vintage cab if we want. A little half and half ski. A little half and half ski there. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna play some punk rock songs today. If you actually can figure out any of these, if anybody gets any of these riffs, I think you might win. I'm gonna play some riffs today, some punk rock riffs, and if you get any of these, even one of these riffs, there's a good chance you could end up walking out of here with a plug-in. So let's see. First one. Anybody get it? Ronnie Webster, nice to see you. What the fuck is up? We are getting good. How is there only 5 people here right now? Do we just have like the base of the base? I had the same issue, man. Sciatica. I dealt with sciatica for a while. It was when I wasn't drinking, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. I was not drinking nearly enough water. I was playing a ton of a ton of hockey, and if you're aware of how a hockey goaltender moves in a butterfly, it does this. You have to do this. Your hips are constantly getting just fucking pounded, absolutely pounding your hips to dust every time you're out there. And then what ended up happening is between my back, not drinking enough water, and all the movements I was doing, all of a sudden I ended up with this sciatica problem, and I couldn't move. Before it finally ended up getting a lot better through various things that I had to do, and I ended up taking some painkillers and medication, and man, I don't like pain pills. Holy shit, do I ever hate pain pills. God, I won't even take them. I just refuse to take them. Last time I had surgery, I had my hernia surgery, and they're like, here's some T this and T that and T this and T57s, man. You want some T50? Straight up morphine. Here we go. Why is my doctor all of a sudden Southern? I have no idea. But it's just like, I'm trying to salesman, snake oil, here's all your pain pills. And no, I don't want any of that. I just ended up taking Advil outside of the first 2 days. And did it hurt more? Yeah, but did I have that? That one didn't have that feeling. That medicine head feeling where you barely feel alive and awake. Can't handle it, man. So sciatica, yes, understand it is very painful. And Bo, man, that sucks. Not a whole lot. Just had some lunch. Nocturnal as fuck. Woke up at 3:30 p.m. You son of a bitch. That sounds like, man, I got off work at 3:30. I'm up at 6:45 in the morning every day. But in my younger days, through most of Riff Break, sorry, everybody. We do riff breaks around here, and I don't apologize for riff breaks. We got to do one right now. Yeah, country players suck, though, right? If someone ever tells you that country players suck, let them know, let them know that Johnny Highland exists. Even if they tell you Brad Paisley sucks at guitar. That's my favorite one when people say, man, Brad Paisley sucks. I see that online every once in a while, especially when he had especially when his signature Fenders stuff started coming out, and his signature Seymour Duncan. So anybody that wasn't in the know, if they weren't in the know, man, if you'd never seen Brad Paisley shred or listened to any of his chicken pickin' shred albums before he started making the softest country ever, that dude shreds. You see a lot of comments like, why did this dude get his own Seymour set? Dude just plays rhythm guitar all the time. It's like, okay, brother. Anyways, Johnny Highland, let him know. Wow. Hold on a sec here. We got lots of comments. Won't be around too long today in the middle of a 16-hour shift. Wanted to pop in and say, yo. Well, you know what, brother? We miss you in here. but I understand that one needs to work and put food on the table, and you got to do what you got to do. I understand, because as soon as I get off here, I'm going to go and work for free. A lot of disc golf stuff to do. Got a huge event this weekend. We are taking over a golf course where the golfers don't like us very much. Yeah, very excited about taking over a golf course on Sunday. It's going to be amazing. We're playing at this disc golf course that we don't get to play at competitively very often in this town because it's quite expensive to play there. But it's long, it's difficult, and it is world class. It's one of those courses, if you watch Jomez Pro, one of those courses that you can actually, like, one of those pro courses. And it is terrifying. So we're going to be going out there to get our asses handed to us, our lunch money taken, and we're going to have fun doing it. So... BJ fucking Russell. Holy shit. Where have you been, brother? Where have you been, man? Nice to see you. It's always great to see BJ kicking around. And it's been a bit. It's been a minute, eh? Wow. Johnny Highland is wild. His old PRS signature was cool. And the fact that he's basically blind. He's not all the way blind. He's legally blind, but he does see a bit. You know what clip of Johnny Highland always absolutely floors me? There's this clip. You guys got to see it, and we're gonna have to go do it. Yeah, we're listening to some Balkan ska in the background. You got to look up Johnny Highland and Rob Chapman. So Johnny Highland, Rob Chapman. There we go. And here it is, right here. So Rob Chapman just hands Johnny Highland this guitar. And says, here, play this guitar. And this is what ensues. I don't know if I'm going to get... Do I get, like... Can I watch... Does anybody know... What is this? Am I going to get, like... Can I watch this? Am I allowed to watch this? Or do I get nuked? We'll see. Okay, hold up. All right. So he just hands him this guitar. Casually. We're gonna do this together. Wait, give it a second here. He really brings it up a shelf. What a tone, too. What the fuck? Whatever, dude.
Sounds amazing.
Anyways, we had to. There's that one clip that always just absolutely floors me. He's just so good. Every note that comes out of that guy is amazing. I wish I could play even 1% that good. Can you imagine just someone handing you a guitar on the spot, and you've got Rob Chapman staring you in the face. You've got all these random motherfucking music people just casually watching you, like all awestruck watching you. Oh, he's touching the guitar. Look at it. He's touching it. And then all of a sudden you can just randomly pull out the most ridiculous guitar store riffs you'd ever heard in your life. Jesus. I've always been jealous of people that could just on command in a guitar store, especially. I always used to get huge nerves when playing at a guitar store. Huge nerves. I'd never be able to play any lead at a guitar store at all. It would just be rhythm, just like with you guys. I mean, when I'm by myself, I can play a little bit more lead, and if I've got a few takes to work with, But man, can you imagine what it'd be like? What is it like to be like that amazing? Jesus. Johnny Highland. H-I, though. No G-H. It's just high, H-I-L-A-N-D. Hold on. Mine came... Dude, Silos... I hate the argument that music someone doesn't like requires no talent. It is. It's abs... You can see online, in person, wherever it is, you can hear musical ignorance. You can hear a lack of musical respect. You can hear a lack of talent immediately. Immediately someone opens their mouth and says that just something, oh, this sucks just because I don't like it. Nah. There is music that sucks out there, but I'm always the one looking for the grain of salt. I'm looking for the upside. Is the arrangement cool? Is the singer good? Something, anything that I can cling to. Is there bad music out there? Absolutely. But there's also music that I just don't prefer. But even like my most hated bands, I have to still give them credit. Like, I absolutely loathe Steve Miller Band. I cannot listen to one single solitary fucking second of that man's voice or anything. But I respect him for being able to write songs that get so stuck in your brain that you're just like, yeah, get out, you know? I really do respect anybody that can write a catchy song, and that Steve Miller can do. And so this is just giving you an example. Smash Mouth, for example, fucking cannot stand that band at all. Not one single syllable or single second or song, anything of everything they've ever done. But respect. Just because you don't like it does not mean it is made by people that do not have talent. Yeah, anyways, going back to Johnny Highland's PRS was badass. It's so nice. His weird thing, though, like, because he's not really a Telecaster guy. Never really has been. He was playing a Telecaster in that video, yes. But he's always been, for most of his career, he was an Ernie Ball. What is that guitar called? The GT or something? Is it called the GT? I think it's called the GT. Ernie Ball. He played an Ernie Ball for most of his career. And then he did the PRS thing. And then he did the Kiesel thing as well. I think he had something with... Did he have one with Chapman? That I don't know. But I know he's... Does he still have a signature model with Kiesel? Kiesel? Whatever. I think he does. Or at least he did. I just got some herbal gummies before picking up some Jimmy John's for lunch. Wow. Jimmy John. What's Jimmy John's? I know what Papa John's is. That's pizza. But what's Jimmy John's? Country players have no talent. A guy who can't even play new metal bounce riffs. Absolutely. Maluma live? And tell me one thing that doesn't suck. I'm going to do that in my own time first. I don't necessarily like doing music reacts like right away. Sometimes, like, especially if it's like a video, if someone's like showing me something, I kind of feel like the wedding singer doing Adam Sandler was getting the meatball from the old lady, and she's like, like looking at my face. Like, I don't want to do that yet, but I'm gonna make a note. Hold on. Maluma live. Tell me one thing that doesn't suck, and tell me one thing that doesn't suck, meaning they're awful. This is really, really bad. Okay, well, I don't really want to listen to terrible music together just yet. I always have to vet things as well before I go looking up videos, because I don't want to play something that's accidentally gets me canceled. Not that you would do that to me, but that has happened to YouTubers. That has happened to YouTubers where someone was like, "Hey man, check out this clip," and then they check it out, and it's something super racist. Not that you would do that, Don, but it has happened. All right, so I should probably play some more guitar. Let's go over to the main channel. And we're going to boost it. Actually, let's go back for a sec here. Go back to channel 2. And I'm going to boost her. Now, the Vanilla Sky, and as far as I understand, this is the Fascination Street OVD1 is based on a Maxon 808X. If I'm not mistaken, that was what I was told. The Vanilla Sky is, of course, something that's it's a proprietary in-house pedal made by MLC, and it's awesome. But we're going to check out this one first. It sounds so slick. Jimmy John's is a sub sandwich place. Nice. Sub shop in the States. Nice. I would love a sub tonight. We had this amazing we have a Detroit style pizza place just down the street from our house. And it's sort of this, it's a guy that owns like a really high class restaurant in my town. He made like a sub shop / pizza shop. And he does it's built into a bar. So, but it's not part of the bar. You can leave the bar and go through like not a door, basically walk across the floor to get to this restaurant that's built inside. It's sort of a brewery bar. And you can go to this place. They've got pub food, like their own take on all kinds of different random shit. They've got these weird little like potato balls called croquettes. Last night we got a bunch of food from this place and it was unbelievable. But tonight, I feel the need to be a little healthier. I'd love to get me a sub right now, though. Don't get me wrong, Ton. There is totally all bad music out there. I'm trying to think if I could think of something that is just literally all bad to the core. All bad to the core. No talent. No talent involved. There's a Japanese girl band, not baby metal, that's very talented. They've got hired guns aplenty. There's an all female Japanese band, and I saw them. They were at Summer Breeze. We watched it live on YouTube, and it was one of the worst bands I've ever fucking heard in my entire life. And I sat there looking at this thinking, how the hell? And then you go look them up on YouTube and you notice that these videos have millions and millions of views. And I'm thinking to this is one of those things where I'm like, how? If someone can name them, I don't know. It's an all girl, metalish, hardcore-ish. I don't even know what music they're trying to play, to be honest, because it doesn't sound like one human being in the band knows anything about playing anything except for the vocalist. She's actually quite good. But in this situation, the band is just so awful that even the best singer in the world couldn't save it. So, and there was another band that we saw as well. Jeebus. Summer Breeze. Another Summer Breeze band where we were just like, holy shit. How did you get on this festival? This is terrible music. Not one redeeming quality. So if you can name an artist in the comments. We don't like this to view or just dwell on negativity here, but tell me an artist in the comments that you feel are a band that is just there's nothing redeemable, nothing to respect, nothing redeemable whatsoever. I'm curious. Yeah, the Flatliners. This band is fantastic. They're a Canadian band. If you haven't heard of them, Flatliners, amazing band. Great tone. The singer's awesome. Okay, here's another band that we need to discuss, folks. This is what we do on Fridays, by the way. It's not going to be all about just these plugins, but another band that I decided... There are a lot of kids at the place I work at. I work with children in a place of education, by the way. And they know me to love metal because... At work, I have this nifty thing where I'm allowed to wear what I want. And as long as it's professional and I wear jeans and metal shirts. Now, I don't wear half or even 75% of my metal shirts are much, much too gory, satanic, or violent to be anywhere near school. But I do have a nice crop of metal shirts that I can wear to the building. And even my boss is like, man, sick shirt sometimes. So it's pretty sweet. I'm respected for the fact that I'm able to do my job and that as long as I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt or shorts and a t-shirt, I'm okay. Now, this gets basically every child in the building that likes metal is routinely coming up to me and asking me if I've heard bands. And if it's a band I've heard, we go into detail and we talk about it. And I'm a wealth of knowledge for these bands. Like this one kid just got into Metallica and he's like, hey, Mr. I'm not going to say I don't want to say my last name and it's silly. So I'm just going to say C. Mr. C, that's what a lot of kids call me anyway. Mr. C, do you know anything about Metallica? And I'm like, buddy, you better have some time if you want the answer to that question. And then I said, ask me anything. And he asked me a couple of really easy questions, and I've been very impressive. Where is this going, you might ask? Well, a lot of these kids continuously ask me if I've heard a band called Ice Nine Kills. And I really, apart from one song that I watched because it had something to do with like the American Psycho, I'm not one of those people that's like, I don't listen to new metal. I only listen to old metal. I'm constantly looking for new bands that I enjoy. In fact, I have one little playlist right here called All New Metal that we constantly look through to see if we can find something new that we like. So yes, I do that frequently. But Ice Nine Kills is not one of the bands on my radar. So I listened to them last night, their new song. The dude's got this sick I'm going to consider it almost cosplays, just like the Joker in the video. This fucking sick video. Super sick video. Big high budget. And I can totally see why kids like it. Because it's lots of colors, it's bright, it's melodic. And this band, though, sounds like it is being made by someone with severe ADHD. Because as soon as it's like, they're like the melodic version of Lorna Shore. In which case, what I mean by that is the second I get into a riff, I'm like, oh, this part is fucking, and it's gone. And it doesn't come back till like later in the song for 4 seconds after 9 bars, and nothing happens for longer than 4 bars in any of these songs. And it's not that I don't have to be a boomer to say that I just want you to slow down a little bit. Can I hear that riff for 4 more bars, maybe? Anyways, this band is all over the place. At one point, it sounded like I was listening to Fall Out Boy, and the very next minute, it sounded like I was listening to something much more aggressive, like Kill Switch or something much more aggressive. I don't know. I use Jazz 3s. So is anybody familiar? Do we have any Ice Nine Kills fans in the house today? Because the tone is fantastic. I just wonder how many backing tracks they're using, because I see how many members they have, and I'm listening to this album, and there's a lot of backing tracks. I can hear like 6 tracks of just the singer alone. Do they have multiple singers? Which parts are being played in the back? Like, is there another guy in the band singing? Because he doesn't sing in the videos. They show the singer singing all the parts. It's weird. I have so many questions. Panic at the Disco meets Kill Switch. I would say, yeah, that's something like Panic at the Disco or like Fall Out Boy, or but you're right actually. Kill Switch at the Disco. Let's listen to it. Let's listen to it together here real quick. I listened to this song, man, and I wasn't sure what to think. It's a great guitar tone. And if you've never heard it, man, the video is fucking sweet. I was not expecting it to be this melodic, though. Last song I heard of there was very heavy. It's all Batman based. And then Fall Out Boy starts. It's a great song. We watched the video. We were very impressed with the video. Anyways, so I finally got to go back to work today and tell these kids that I finally listened to a band that they told me to listen to, and I actually kind of liked it. So all day they're telling me songs by this band that I need to listen to. So it was kind of a fun way to interact. But a great tone. The production is insane. But if you can even listen to it and you can hear like 2 or 3 tracks of the singer at all times, harmonies and screaming and growling and everything, there's no way that man's doing everything. There's all so many layers of things happening. I'd be very curious. I want to go see this song live now. As for picks, all right, Ton, you asked a very loaded question. This is my pick. This is my pick stash. And I've got all kinds of stuff, freebies and otherwise. My current favorite pick is called the V-Pick Snake. And it's the V-Pick Snake. I'll hold it up and hopefully it focuses. And this is how thick it is. And I've been using this pick now for about a year straight. I've had this pick for almost a decade. And look at what shape it's in. V-picks just do not degrade the same way normal picks do. This is another pick that I like to use occasionally doing, I pretty much only use this for alternate picking or lead work. And you're thinking lead work, but the bevel on the edge, the bevel is all about this bevel. And it rakes up and down so seamlessly. This is called the Psycho Shredder from V-Picks. I'm not sponsored by them or nothing. Then you've got Fred Kelly picks. This is another one I really, really enjoy. I've got a bunch from V-Pick. And prior to this one, I was using almost every stream, I was using the Johnny Highland. This is the Johnny Highland signature pick from V-Picks. It's got these nice worn edges for grip. It's the greatest grip I've ever had in a pick. I wish I was sponsored by V-Picks because I think I'm probably going to sell them some picks. I also really, for about a year, I use these Andy James Dunlops. They're very thick. I don't use anything thin at all unless I'm playing chicken picking. If I'm doing any chicken picking at all, typically, if I'm playing an acoustic, which is almost never, and I mean never, or anything strummy, sometimes I use these, the Dava pick. And then for chicken picking, I use these things called chicken picks. And whatever this is, I have no interest in going down whatever. I'm not sure where that was going, but I don't want to listen to it. This is chicken picks, and again, quite thick. And they've got this really unique sound to them. Maybe I'll try using one for the rest of this stream even. This is, they've got Jazz 3 size. They've got bigger sizes. I used to use Jazz 3s. I used them for very, very long time. Very long time. And then eventually I just couldn't hold them the way I used to. My fingers, I've got some arthritis happening and they're tough to hang on to. There's not a lot of grip in a Jazz 3. It just falls out of my fingers so easily. So while I love the pick response of it, and I do have some still, I've got the JP, I think I've got the JPs in here and I've got the Kirk Hammetts in here. So I've got the Kirk Hammett picks, the Kirk Hammett Jazz 3s. And I've got the JP Jazz, and they're just a little bigger. And that's the John Petrucci Dunlop picks, if you're curious. And I've also got, I've got thumb picks, man, like I've got tons of picks. And what I like to do is I like to constantly switch my pick. Why? Why switch your pick? Well, so you don't get used to the same feel all the time and then be completely inept if you lose that pick. Why? That happened to me before. It did. It happened to me before. I was middle of recording. I forgot my little pick pouch of Jazz 3s. All they had for me to use was I couldn't go get it. I didn't have a license at the time. No one would drive me. It was across town. It would have been very inconvenient. We were paying for studio time, and I had to use. I went from a Jazz 3 to a Dunlop light gray. I think those are 0.6. So that was like, and I played so horribly, and still I listen to that recording and hear shit and garbage. It sounds like garbage to me, but the guys liked it and we went with it. But I still hear it, and I know I wasn't using my picks, and I know that I made mistakes because of that pick, and I can hear my picking sucked on it. And I swore never, ever, ever, ever again will I get reliant on one pick. I'm going to learn how to use all kinds of picks. As long as it's thick, I'll use it as a pick. So nice. All right, guys, I'm going to take my quick break as per the usual. Right around now, I usually take my quick little break, 2-3 minutes. I'll be back at you guys. We're going to go over the Celanos plugin. I'm going to get over some of the marshals as well. We're going to be here for a bit today, probably about maybe 2 and a bit today, and then we'll get moving. I'm stoked to watch some baseball tonight to hope that my Blue Jays can take another one from the Mariners. Very exciting, a super fun weekend planned for us. It's going to be a long bunch of things to do, but it's going to be awesome. So thanks for being here. Like and subscribe as always. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for being part of this rad little community we've started, and eventually we'll grow it even further. I love where it's at right now. I just love the community. The viewership has been really, really nice. So in time, we'll add a few more faces to this, but for now, thanks for being just the loyal watchers, guys, the loyal viewers. I appreciate each and every one of you. Give me 2 or 3.
Pesach.
Rotting Christ. This song is so heavy. Maybe one of the heaviest songs I've ever heard. I don't know. I'm not even a hugest fan of this band, like full time or anything. I just heard this song and went, holy shit. I remember the first time the missus and I heard this song and just kind of went, wow, that is maybe the darkest and heaviest song we've heard in a while. Anyhow, we're back. We're back with the Terror 2000 attack, and so we're still going over this one here. This guy here is such a rad plugin, and you guys are right though that the Celanos version definitely has more of the bolds. It's got more of the gain. This one I found you can get it there. Sure you can. It needs a little help from either one of the pedals. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So next punk rock lick, if you get it, you're going to win a prize today. You're going to win your choice of amp knob. You're going to get to choose your own fucking knob for free. It's going to be good. All right, next riff. Anybody? I'm going to keep playing riffs until somebody gets one. I'm going to make them easier eventually. These are not tough ones, though. I realize that skate punk has fallen somewhat out of favor. But there are still some good bands doing it. Yesterday, I discovered a band called What Did That? I'm not even going to try to say what you just typed. Gonna call it riboflavin. Never mind. Inside joke. All right. So, what are we doing here? You're gonna go fat picks? We don't have to. I mean, I would suggest that you try fat picks. The first fat pick I tried, when I couldn't hold on to the Jazz 3s anymore, I tried the Stubbies. You guys have seen this in the guitar store. You know you have. It's the Dunlop Stubby boys. And there's a few different Stubby guys. There's the big Stubby and the little Stubby. Where's the big Stubby guy? I think I might have finally just thrown it out because it takes up so much room. Is it in here? No, there it is. This is the big Stubby boy. That's too much pick for me. This thing feels like I'm holding a fucking dinner plate. Like it's still comfy though. That's the thing. Oh gosh. Cat hair. Or eyelash or something. Wonderful. Well timed. Every time I jump in a stream. Every time. Brute dog. All right. We're in play again. I would suggest if you're gonna go up a notch, try the Stubby, the Jazz 3s. Like I have a Jazz 3 right here, just a plain old Jazz 3. But using them again, I tried using one not that long ago. It's just not enough pick for me anymore. After getting used to these big, fat, giant picks, this thing is just not enough pick anymore. It just isn't. I don't know why. It just isn't anymore. It's not enough to hang on to. I've also got these weird wooden picks. These are wood, made out of legit wood, called River Song picks. I had a bunch of those given to me. I only use those though for I've used them for some nice clean parts, and they've got a different attack to them. But yeah, try different picks. There's one particular pick I was looking for. There's the old school. I keep one of these around just for the look of it. Here it is, 0.73. My nemesis. Actually, no, my nemesis are the Tortex. I'm sorry. If you use Tortex picks, we can't be friends. I don't understand your way of Why do you want a pick that falls out of your hand and dulls your strings? Are you a sadist? All right, again. Oh, this is one you guys should know. Anybody. I'm going to keep playing punk rock riffs today until I give something away. Here's another band with a weird guitar tone. Volbeat. It's a strange guitar tone. There's something about his guitar tone that is just not here. What is it about his guitar tone that makes it so unique? It's a good tone. It's just so you know when you're listening to Volbeat because the Volbeat tone is very unique, just like his voice. Yeah! That's such a unique tone. He's really good at. He's actually quite a solid guitar player. Rhythm guitar player. He's solid. He's a lot better than I think people give him credit for. I really enjoy Volbeat. I just feel like their last couple of records, it's a lot of stuff started sounding a little the same, I guess. I don't know. 1mm Dunlop. Kyle Hunter. Jim Root picks are cool. I put in a request for the Mick Thompson set, and I've not heard a darn thing. All right, next riff. Anybody, you want to win something? You're going to win something today. You're going to win something. Thank you so much to Bogren Digital, by the way, for hooking us up with 3 prizes. I just asked for one. I was just like, hey, would you mind, could I give away an amp knob or something? And he's like, how about 3? I'm like, oh, yes. So they've always supported everything I've ever done, whether it was Honest AmSim Reviews or the AmSim Universe or whatever we were doing here. They've always been on really. They've always been behind us, and thank you so much for that. We're not a big channel, but they realize that even though we're not a huge channel, we do have some pretty decent reach. And that is, many of our viewers we've got developers, we've got coders, we've got AR people, we've got tons of different creators that watch us as well. So, I mean, we've got small numbers, but it's also about quality. Yeah, I agree, Kyle. That's well said. Volbeat is like Cradle of Filth. He didn't say Cradle of Filth, but I'm saying Cradle of Filth. But he said Volbeat is one of whatever. Volbeat is one of those bands, where you either love them or hate them. There's not really a gray area. I agree. I enjoy them. I don't know if. I think at one point I really liked Volbeat. Like when I heard this album for the first time, I was like, holy shit, who are these guys? This is fucking weird shit. And it was that song, Hallelujah Goat. That was the song. You guys are familiar. I bet you it's still in there. It must be in there. I guess I could give them a follow on here, eh? Not that they need it. I think it's this album. Is it Hallelujah Goat? No. What's the song? This isn't it. I gotta find this damn song now, because now I recall. Oh, they have the brand new album out. Interesting. Oh, By Monster's Hand. It sounds like Fit. I thought he was an EMG guy. That right there sort of sounds like Fishman. No, that's EMG. Oh, I did hear this song. I saw the video. The video is fucking crazy, by the way. If you haven't seen this video, you really should. I don't give a shit what people think. This band is heavy. You know what I'd really like to hear? I want to hear the dude from Volbeat sing in a psychobilly band, because there's a little psychobilly in Volbeat, and if you don't hear it, we can't be friends. Not that any of y'all want to be my friend anyway. Here's the first song I ever heard by Volbeat. That's EMG all day, baby. You can hear EMG right through that. And if you're out there and you're wondering, what do I mean by that's EMG? That's EMG pickups. This is basically psychobilly with distortion right now. Gosh, I really would love to hear him sing in a band that's like, you know, psychobilly to the extent of like, you know, Tiger Army type thing, but like heavier. I really do think that they're like, as soon as the very first time I heard this band, I was like, I could hear this, like, this psychobilly band? And no, it wasn't. It turned out it was more metal. But yeah, there's definitely some psychobilly in there. I would love to hear them do like a straight up psychobilly album. Not a rockabilly album, because I don't really dig rockabilly as much as I like psychobilly. It's one of those things. Volbeat and Cradle of Filth, love them or hate them, yeah. Just don't join them. You know what? Danny Filth is always going to be, as long as Danny Filth still has all his connects, as long as Danny Filth still has his chops, he's going to always going to find people like Rob Flynn. Rob Flynn is always going to find people to play in his band because, well, some people don't like him and some people that have played in his band don't like him. He couldn't get, like Dave Mustaine, another guy, like Dave Mustaine could literally, I know they're retiring, but Dave Mustaine could literally do Megadeth until he was 80 years old, and he would still be able to find session musicians to join him. Like when I saw Edgar Winter, he was in his 70s. He still had his chops. He still put on a hell of a fucking show. He played Frankenstein. It was fucking awesome. And I was hammered. And I was in my early 20s. We had this massive festival. I got to see like Ricky Skaggs and all this. My point here is that Edgar Winter still had a top fucking shelf band behind him. Hired guns. Young hired guns that were just shredding the shit off the stage with Edgar Winter. There are certain musicians that will always be able to find a backing band, whether it's for money and respect. People still will always want it. Like Ozzy, for example. Ozzy could have kept on going. Had Ozzy not passed away, he could have kept going in a seated position. Not that he would have wanted to do that, because we all know that Ozzy would not have wanted to fucking do that. He wanted to retire in the early 90s, in fact, when he started losing mobility. And you can see very clearly and then when he started losing mobility. Anyway, my point here is that he could have kept going until he was 90 years old, and he still would have been able to have a top shelf backing band. There are certain people that can just do that. And I hate to say it, but Danny Filth is one of those people that as long as he has his chops and that Cradle of Filth name, he's always going to find a backing band to play with it. Always. Frankenstein has a metal cover for sure. 100%. Ew. No. Fucking thank you. Nah, can we not? Ah. That was the one thing, that's the one thing about Volbeat that does throw me off a little bit, is they have happy songs. They actually have happy sounding songs. I'm just like, I got to draw the line somewhere. I'm going to draw the line. And it's like, you see that pet thing where it's like, where do you draw the line? And then somebody went and drew a line right before rabbit or right after rabbit before horse or something like that. And that's where I would draw the line when listening to, I went to certain, I don't know about happy emo-y metal stuff. Sometimes if I want to listen to that type of stuff, you want to listen to that type of stuff. But Anyways, we're going to get back to our playlist, and we're going to keep going with the new. I've been playing with this one for a while. I do want to give the Vanilla Sky a go before we get on to the next, the Celanos plugin. And let's do it. This is so super nice, but I could see what people were talking about, and you would see the odd comment about this plugin being just missing a little bit of gain, just a little bit. Oh, come on, Sam. Anyways, just a little bit of gain, not a lot of gain, but a little bit. And of course, this also comes with the EQ, and it comes with the Fascination Street delay and wet verb. So, guys, this is one that you can get right now. I don't think it is. We were just looking at prices yesterday. Bogren did. Come on. I hate when I do that by mistake. Let's just go give me Bogren Digital. Good Lord. All right. Products. Guitar. This one you can get right now for 79, about 79 euros. All right. Or, sorry, 79 euros, which is regular 99 euros. And I'll be honest with you, $99, even at full price, is perfectly priced. And that is very affordable when it comes to what you're getting. A lot of other suites are 129 now at this point. They've priced it very effectively here. And so we're going to get on to the Celanos version, which we've talked about before. We've shown it off before. It's awesome. You guys know it. I know it. And we're going to go with it just now. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Oh, no. It's quite, yeah, all of these, that amp is very super versatile. This one also quite versatile. Go to the screen. This one is all blacked out, decked out. We're going to go get our mic setup going here. And this one, they give you a bunch of mics. Oh, my goodness gracious. I am just killing my neck. Somehow, I'm hunched over. I don't want to be turtle. I'm going to be sitting back if I can, but apparently I need to lean in. All right. And I'm going to leave that angle. Go with a 45-degree angle. And we'll go about here. Let's see what we got. I'm going to turn this off. Because again, I like it, but I like it without as well. So wow. All right, now let's get into this. It's got the brown sugar, which I absolutely love. The octave that I'm not super concerned about in this particular suite. I could take it or leave it. It's cool to have it and not really need it, but it's either way. I can kind of go either way on it. It is quite nice octave pedal. It's just I didn't really find a use for it in this particular suite. I would compare it to Tonality Westmoreland and really not having a need for the fuzz pedal in that particular with that particular amp. It's just like, it's not that it's bad or that it was done poorly. It's just I just didn't really have much of a need for it. So the brown sugar is the star of the fucking show here. 4 different modes. This is such an awesome pedal. Such an awesome pedal. And then you have your typical green Screama. But this thing is just super, super rad. Let's get the amp set up first, though. I'm just going to do my usually use here, and then we'll get into it. Actually, I kind of feel like taking that off would be a mistake. All right, see where we're at. That is a lot of top end. So we're going to... A lot of top end there. Lots of top end. So I definitely need to back these off. A little bit much on the sizzle there, so I'm gonna bring the presence back. Much better, love it. We've got 3 modes here, which again probably are, yeah, clean, and then you've got your medium. But the medium is more like the last plugin is. The medium is kind of like the last plugins. Well, we'll say the 2 is like the last plugins 3. Yeah, I would say that. Like, the 2 is also redonkulously heavy here. Let's just play with this for a sec. We've also got the choice between 6L6 and KT88s instead of 6L6 and, EL34. I love me some KTs, so let's go to that. Oh, guys, my neck is just absolutely crushing me right now. It's because I spend the stream kind of looking off to the side. I should really try to fix that. I'd like to get a better mic that kind of comes in from the side a little bit more that I can... But I am left with what I have here for now. It's almost... Is Bo still here? Bo, it's almost like... Turtle, make turtle enough for the turtle club. Turtle. That's the best. Master of Disguise, one of the worst rated movies of all time. I always found it kind of a funny movie, to be honest. Is Bo still here? Bo, it almost sounds like it has that that slash mod. Jeez, I can't remember it. It's the, what is it? The number 34 mod or something like that? I can't remember it now off the top of my head. It almost sounds like it has that slash mod built right into the amp. It has that sheen to it. That sounds pretty good. It's my ears. Sounds pretty nice. The 34, yeah. It has that to it. That's that almost. There's something about like the, I don't know, the note response. Something about it. Then we're gonna crank this on. Next mode. Ooh, that one sounds nice. All right, next punk riff for a plugin. muscular. This is crushing tone right here from Catalyst Capitation. Listen to this fucking tone. Woo! Want to know why that the guitar sounds so good? Dave Otero, ladies and gentlemen. Dude is an absolute magician with guitar. There's a lot of top end in this plugin, by the way. Enough top end to do some damage. Not like real damage, but damage, you know? Whoops. That's sounding way better. Tweak that, tweak that. Take that. It's heavy as fuck in the background there. See, I go to that pedal now after going with the brown sugar. And I don't like it as much, nearly as much. The brown sugar for life with this plugin, baby. Woo! I'm going to play a riff. We should probably also say something. Because I think it's... I mean, it sucks. We lost another guitar player. The single reason that I wanted my first guitar was Ace Frehley. The sole reason. There was no other reason in this world before Ace Frehley that made me want to pick up a guitar, that made me want to own a guitar. There wasn't pictures of Kiss, listening to Kiss. When I found out Kiss existed, when I was a young man, I would think I was 8 or 9. I was introduced to Kiss via my uncle. And I was absolutely taken aback. I was enamored. I think it was my very first obsession outside of like hockey. The first band I obsessed over was Kiss. And the reason I picked up a guitar was because of Ace Frehley. I stood in the mirror and wanted to practice all his moves with an acoustic guitar that had 3 strings on it. This is my first guitar. It was like an acoustic guitar that somebody bought at a yard sale. It was a classical guitar that had like 2 or 3 strings left on it. And that's how that was my first guitar. Anyways, he passed away. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was something to do with having a fall at home and then just not coming out of the scenario that fall put him in. And it's not good. It's not a good scenario. You never want to lose a scenario like that. You never want to lose anyone to a fall at home, or for any reason for that matter. But nonetheless, we've definitely got to just, take a second, have a rest and power moment, and take a second to appreciate and take a couple, just take, even if we'll take 5 seconds here. All right. And we'll say that. Cheers to Ace Frehley. It's a bummer. You never want to hear about things like that. I thought I had read that he was going to be fine. He had taken a fall at home, and I read that he had taken a fall and that he was going to be fine. Oh, man, my neck is screwed up. That he was going to be fine, but apparently that was not, in fact, the case. So, yeah, was a brain bleed from a fall at home that he just never came back from, man. It was, yeah, not good. It sucks, man. And I saw a couple really shitty fucking comments today from some miserable piles of fucking garbage. I saw a couple of comments today. Should have been Gene. Should have been Gene. Oh, I wish it should have been Gene. Or, oh, wait, it would have been way funnier if it was Gene Simmons. What? What the fuck is wrong with you? Know, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you're out there and you think, if you're out there and you're like one of the younger crowd, and you're like, Gene Simmons is a piece of shit because he's famous and he's really, really full of himself, and you know he's a Stone Age dinosaur, this or that. Just don't ever forget. That's pretty much every performer of that level. They're all assholes. They're all assholes or the C word. That's it. They're all of that. Most of them are just like him. He just shows it off. Like he just acts that way and doesn't. He was never like, he never hid. He was like, yeah, I'm a fucking egotistical prick. So, and that's what happens to rock stars. The bigger they get, the bigger it goes this way. So don't think like, I guarantee you Metallica, not all of Metallica, but I guarantee you that Metallica are probably not the most down to earth bunch of dudes. You know, a lot of bands like that. So let's cut them a little bit of slack. I was way late too, though. You know, I found Kiss in the early 80s. Not early 80s. I would have been mid 80s. Mid 80s is when I would have found Kiss. And that was well after the fact. I was a generation late as well. My uncle had grown up with Kiss when he was a kid. And so they had been around for a while when I found them. And he wanted to make sure that what I was hearing was not going to be, lick it up, whoa. He didn't want me to start my journey down the the Kiss lane like that. So he showed me a couple of songs, and I remember my favorite Kiss album to this day is Dynasty. And I'm told that in serious Kiss circles that's kind of a faux pas because it was the disco album, but that was the first album I heard. That was the first album I got, and from a yard sale. I didn't even get it from my uncle. We had gotten it from. I bought it at a yard sale with a bunch of records. I saw the Kiss. It's a cool cover too. It's just them, pretty much them with their makeup, and you're like, whoa, what's this? And my mom's like, no, it was my grandmother. It was like, oh, that's Kiss. That's Kiss. It's just a band. They wear costumes, something to that effect. I was like, I fucking want it. And I thought it was going to be a scary band, but then you're, oh, I ain't for loving you. And you're just like, what? This is a cool song. So anyways, that was my original favorite Kiss album, was Dynasty. I don't care, but that's smart, man. Gene likes trademarking random shit. There are a lot of people that have trademarked some random shit. There are a lot of people that have made money trademarking the most ridiculous shit ever. And Gene Simmons is he's a businessman. I've got no hate whatsoever for Gene Simmons. None. The dude's an asshole. Yes, true. Absolutely. But you're one of the biggest rock stars in the history of the universe. One of the biggest rock stars in the history of the universe. Oh, yes, you're going to have a little bit of a swelled head. Head very big. Never have been a Kiss fan, but Ace's death is still sad. Yeah, absolutely. That could have happened to Geddy Lee. It could have happened to Alex Lifeson. It could have happened to and so many other musicians with home studios where they bury themselves in their home studio. And if something happens to them in the home studio and they take a little fall or an oops, even if you're to bend over and smack your head on a table hard enough for a senior citizen, that's a bit different than doing it in your 20s, 30s, or even 40s or 50s. and they could be down there for how long, and it might take a significant amount of time to find them, because these human beings are known to bury themselves in their studio for one reason or another. Like all of those seniors musicians, all those big guys, they have an elaborate home studio that was set up for them by the best at some point, and they have it full of guitars, and they bury themselves in that, maybe to, one theory I heard was because they miss being on tour. They don't want to be on tour anymore, but they go down to their studios and play along to like live albums and feel it again, kind of thing. I would do that too, and imagine they go down there for 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, who knows how long, and their wives or their kids or whoever's living with them would not know any different. And that's the scary thing about those situations. Things can happen to seniors. Like, a lot of seniors have wood shops. A lot of seniors they work on old cars and stuff like that. Easy ways to hurt yourself. 100% easy ways to hurt yourself. So take care of the seniors in your life. Speaking of the seniors in my life, my mom's birthday is coming up soon. The big 7-0. This plugin is absolutely incredible. By the way, the Tattoo Stream playlist is there for you should you wish to listen to it. I always found that this amp, you can get a little bit of the presence to come up, but there's aggressive mids in it. We're only on channel 2 right now, and there's loads of gain in comparison. So this one really is a continuation of the last one with some more features. This is kind of the way I like to look at it. At first, someone was like, it's just the same fucking amp, but it's just got a different UI. No, it's not. You can hear audibly within the first like 8 seconds of playing with this thing that it is not, in fact, the same amp. That's awful. Ronnie Webster, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. And a lot of my friends have lost parents in their 70s. I've lost a lot of aunts and uncles in their 70s as well. So yeah, it's that age when, as I have not dealt with it, as I'm 47, not 74 just yet, but I can see it already. I can see why it happens, because and especially from that era. That era is an era of men who fucking worked hard. That is what that era was. That era was just an era of men that went to work, and they went to work, and they went to work hard. And so as they get older, they don't know anything else. And now their body doesn't want to work as hard anymore, but their brain is still like, nah, we're getting this shit done. We used to be able to do this, and we're going to get it done because it's our job to get it done. And you don't want to admit defeat because you've done this job 700 billion other times. And that is why it's proven fact, scientific. It is a statistical fact that a lot of men, seniors, passed away in their 70s due to scenarios like that, where they work and they work too hard, and they don't realize that they shouldn't be working that hard anymore. Their doctor's telling them, no, don't work that hard anymore. So yeah, take care of the seniors in your lives, folks. Hold on. Corpse. What up, corpse? I don't see. Do you mean Exhume Corpse? I didn't see him jump in. We got 7 people in the house. We had a few. We did a lot of chit-chatting today, and it's been fun. Now, let's talk about this amp a little bit more. Now, this amp essentially is another Polish-made amp from MLC, and this is the Celano's signature model. Now, is this an actual analog amp that you can buy? Also, this one you can get for the exact same price of 79 euros right now. I'm not sure what the exchange rate is like with US dollars. Is it close to on par with US dollars right now? I can't recall. How's it going? You're not late to the party, man. Don't worry about it. I'm going to be here for another little bit. I've got a few other things I want to do. Nice to see you, old friend. We were actually, I bumped into somebody that was talking about the PA multi. I'll say that. Okay. Well, they were talking about the PA multi. I don't have to get too into anything to anything else. You know where that conversation was going. And good times. And you know what? You came up the other day and I was just like, man, I actually don't know. I don't know how. Can you imagine? Okay. Can you imagine trying to do one of those shows today? Can you imagine how swiftly that would get broken up in today's world? Man, can you imagine? Can you even imagine trying to pull one of those shows off in the new era, in this current climate? We were laughing so hard because that was what? I mean, we're talking like 30 years now. 30 years? Wow. 30 years. But man, it was a different fucking universe. The very first shows in my particular part of the world, I think like many people's they were at like, rec centers and stuff like that. And you don't see a lot of those rec center shows and stuff anymore though, unless you live in a small community, where the only place you have to do shows is a rec center. And that still happens. I actually had some friends that were just playing a rec center like 2 days ago. And with some of my fondest memories, we're playing a town called Kenora. Wow. Is that a fighter jet? Holy shit. That's loud as fuck. That's definitely a fighter jet. That scared the living shit out of me. It's like, holy fuck, what was that? Anyways, there was this place called Kenora. It's a small Canadian town. And I played there more than a few times on tours. And there was this wicked little community center that was on the edge of this place, this lake called Lake of the Woods. Super fishy smelling lake, but apparently some of the best fishing in the universe, as far as I've been told. They catch like those monster fish in there. What are those fish called again? Those really the absolute leviathans that you can catch. Those monsters that are like 20 feet long. You catch them in fresh water. And they're protected fish. Can't remember what they're called anymore off the top of my head. Yeah, man, so many good and a couple of not so good memories. Yeah. Anyways, I played this wonderful little community center in Kenora, and it was every time we would play there, or anybody would play at this place. Live shows were very new to this community, and the place only held by fire standards probably 100 people, 120, and you'd put a lot more than that in there, and you'd open the windows and people would be outside of the building like 2 rows deep looking in the windows, and it was and you'd have perspiration dripping off the drywall, and you could see it dripping off the ceiling and off of like this little mini space heater thing that was in the corner. It was just dripping constant gross sweat. So Those were interesting shows. I can't say those weren't great shows. Anyways, Celanos is. Have you guys seen the new guitar player in Demu, or the guy that's like filling in? This guy is an absolute behemoth. He's a monster. He is a terrifying looking dude, and he's exactly perfect for somebody you would want to replace Galder, who is in his own right very like evil looking on stage, right? You want a guy that's equally like tough and evil looking. So do check it out. But Celanos still in this band. My friend, we've been playing punk rock riffs today. Also, you know what? I heard a story the other day. Exhumed Corpse. I don't get a chance to catch up with the Exhumed Corpse that often, but I'm not. Again, this is going to be the vaguest shit ever. I have a story that I heard years ago that I always forget to ask you about, and I'm not gonna specify. I'm not gonna elaborate whatsoever, because we're not, whatever. But there was a story about yourself and the Misfits. I'll say no more. Is that story legit or not legit? That's all you got to say. Yes or no, legit. And we are not elaborating, folks. We're not going to ask anybody to elaborate on their lives or anything like that. But I just want to know, is that story like, is that a fish story or is that not a fish story? This thing sounds so good, and it could definitely do that like Friedman-y. It's almost like a heavy Friedman-y type sound at times when you really crank up the mids. Man, so, and we're not even at the heaviest level yet. All right, let's get heavy. A lot of low end that I don't necessarily need. Holy shit, this thing is so mental. Okay, so changes the clipping diode. 1 is Schottky, 2 is impulse, 3 is germanium, and 4 is LED. That makes sense. I can totally hear that germanium twang in number 3. So that totally makes sense. That adds up. Also, not that I'm interviewing anybody here, but Exhumed Corpse, do you still have the OG, we'll call it the OG HC Les Paul? Do you have these? Do you still have that instrument? Also, everybody that's in the stream right now, type in the chat, what's your main guitar currently? I want to know, what is everyone's main guitar right now? I don't care if you have, if you have one, whether it is one guitar you have, or if you have 100 guitars. I'm quite certain there's no one in the stream right now with 100 guitars, but I'm sure there's a few of us that own, 10 plus guitars. What is your current go-to? What guitar are you playing the most? What is your maybe your consistent numero uno? Tell me in the chat. I'm curious. Give me some specs too. Tell me the specs on the guitar. Give me the pickups. Did you mod it? Tell me about it. I want to know what you guys are using just as much. The Misfits story had something to do with Doyle. I guess it was probably a fish story. Yeah, I said I was playing some of my favorite punk riffs today until somebody guesses one of the riffs. Don't think anyone's guessing that, but it's still one of my favorite punk rock riffs. All right, so let's see. What's another punk rock riff? I really want someone to just guess a punk rock riff, but I don't want to play anything that's too easy. I know that Kyle probably would have already... There's a couple that I thought maybe Kyle was going to bust in on, but we'll see. Definitely not punk rock there. All right, here we go. Do you still play those tunes? Wow, man. Why has there never been a reunion? Why has there never been a reunion beyond that one, the one at, I don't want to start getting super namey with places here. The one that was at that bar that was way downstairs. Kyle Ibanez are a great guitar to mod. Fucking right they are. There's no better guitar on this earth than an Ibanez RG for modifications. There just isn't. You come at me, bro. There's always a decent sized route to work in. The humbuckers, usually that you get with the guitar are pretty much, some of them are throwaways, some of them are mass-produced DiMarzio, but some of them are throwaways. Either way, they're so easy to modify. And the other thing, a nice cheat code with Ibanez is that the color of the guitar usually will match something in the DiMarzio lineup. They work well together that way. And so if you're looking for something that matches really well, usually DiMarzio will have something that kind of works okay. So yeah. I want to read about some people's guitars. Custom Deviant Reaper. Nice. That sounds cushy. I think I talked to a dude that's like slightly related to that brand or something. Kim something. He's got like a Swedish last name. Kim something. He's a guitar player. He's got a super sexy guitar. He's done some content for me in the past. Does he have anything to do with the company? I don't know. Just reading through my NR1 is Strat copy with a noiseless Fender. That sounds sexy as well. Noiseless. You can never go wrong with noiseless Fender pickups. Hand wound pickups yourself. Yeah, that's another thing. Bo knows. Bo also knows pickup winding. Man, I would do I I would do this is gonna be okay. Just hear me out here. I would do bad things. Not I wouldn't break the law, but I would do bad things for that for a current reunion. How much money do we need to raise to bring the distance together here? Can we do a GoFundMe? Let's talk about this. Is it on now? Really? What time did it start? 6? Well, don't put it on yet. I'm just about to get out of here. We're putting on the game. Yeah, put on the game. Yeah, put on. We're gonna watch the game in the background. Gorilla Guitars. Yeah, man. Gorilla Guitars. Is his name Stefan? We're gonna check out Gorilla Guitars right freaking now. This is what we're gonna do. This dude has such an awesome, like, eye for things. Oh, the cookies. Cookies in the cookies. Yeah, buddy. I have a friend that is endorsed by this company. And just his chunky looking headstocks are just so awesome. Look at this thing. Holy shit. Oh, I just gasped. Did you guys see that? Literally, I just, oh my. Just like, feel like I have to make sure my hair looks good to look at this guitar. Gee, bus. Oh my God. And he's got that crazy shape that looks like a BC Rich looking thing. This thing, what do they call it? Warbird? I think they call this a Warbird. Is that what it's called? A Warbird. TR? I don't know. Anyways, that thing is crazy looking. I don't know if I could pull that off. But oh my God, there's a hand grip. And what is with that headstock? That is madness level headstock. I don't know about that headstock. I don't know about that headstock from you. But that body is... Look at this chunky Les Paul looking thing. I didn't know he was... That is interesting. Wow. That looks interesting, and I am interested. See, it's the same headstock we just looked at, but we reversed it, and all of a sudden I'm a big fan. So many headstocks like that I'm just like, I look at it regular, I'm like, ugh. And then you look at it like reversed, and you're like, hey, that looks cool. Yeah, man, this guy's a really nice dude too. Really nice human being. So yes, your business would go to a great builder. He made a headless. Interesting. Oh, my neck. Yes, you're right. Thank you so much. Costa, that's his name. Sorry. You've got 3 of those? Wow. That's right. His name. Isn't there a guy that works there? Is there a guy there named Stefan at some point? I don't know. I originally was talking... Okay, right around the same time that our local friend that we know that has one of those warbirds, right around the time that he was discussing, I actually put those two in connection, if I'm not mistaken. Or did I? I think I did. Maybe I did. I don't remember now. Either way, these guitars look sick. And thanks very much, because now I want one. Not for $4,600 right now, I don't. Wow, look at this. He did like is this like sort of like a gem looking guitar almost with like this unique, it's almost like a gem apocalypse where it looks like it maybe used to be like flowers and stuff, but then it just got like decimated. No vines on the headstock though. This is some bullshit. I'm kidding, guys. This is actually so nice. What does this one cost? $12,000. This is also, keep in mind, this is custom made right down to the last piece of jazz. Okay? Amazing guitar, amazing builder, very unique stuff. And I love that he's never conformed and said, let's make something more easy to look at. And this is the way he makes guitars. They're jagged looking. Even like even the super strats are jagged looking. Love it. Thanks for that. We needed to look at some guitars anyway. Nice. Thanks, Ronnie. That headstock looks like it has a genetic disorder. All of those guitars, that Les Paul looking thing looks like it has a genetic disorder. Oh my God. Fletcher Drag from Pennywise. He was a metal guy that was playing. He was a metal guy playing punk rock. And that was the coolest thing about it though, right? As a metal guy that went into punk rock, and I'm sure Exhumed Corpse can also agree with this because he likely was a metal guy that came into the punk rock realm. And the reason that I was in a punk rock band was because it was the easiest band to find. I couldn't find any metal bands my age. There were none. The only metal bands my age roughly were just, all they wanted to do was play Metallica covers. They didn't want to make originals. They didn't want to do anything. And they didn't want to play shows or just like talent shows and stuff. It wasn't like it is. Anyways, but it was a different story because if I wanted to play in a band, I had to play punk, and there was nobody that was really playing. Like there was a certain local band that made me go, wow, this is metal punk. And then I started looking into. I got dragged to a show. And I was super nervous to go there. I thought I was going to get beat up or something. It was the first show I attended. And I heard a punk rock metal band. And I said, this is what I need to do. And then I heard more of them, bands like Lagwagon and Strung Out. And I was listening to then, Pennywise and realizing that there were a lot of people in my position, that metal musicians that were just playing punk rock because it was the easiest way to find shows. It was the easiest way to find bands, and shows were always available. You didn't have to fight tooth and nail to get your band on a show. It was more than likely there was going to be an opening for you somewhere. So, and then I started putting on my own shows as well eventually. But man, it was just, I realized that was possible. Hey, look at this. Look at this shit. A massive playlist of 581 songs. Pennywise comes on now. How about that? Interesting. So all my friends started showing me these punk rock / metal-y type bands. And eventually I was like, oh, I'm in. I'm in. I joined a band. I joined a punk rock band, a couple of different ones. And then I played a lot of shows. That was the good thing. Played a lot of shows. I have played on a hay wagon. I have played on a community center stage right in front of a picture of the Queen that never got touched. No matter how many shows we did at this place, the picture of the Queen never got touched by anyone, which was the most bizarre thing. Everything else in the place got fucking broken except for that picture. I've played shows everywhere. And as a punk rock band, you have a chance to do that. Whereas in other bands, I don't think there's a lot of other scenes where, maybe metal and hardcore are kind of similar in a sense, but most of the time punk rock venues can pop up anywhere. I've played basements. I've played so many basements. I've played garages. I've played backyards. I've played parking lots, plugged in to the winter parking outlets until the police came and were nice enough to let us play 2 more songs before we went to, you guessed it, someone's basement. And you just get this. You just keep playing shows in basements and wherever you can set gear up, and you keep doing that until you get really fucking good at it. And then by the time you're ready to start playing band, you get actual venue shows, you sound way better. You know what I mean? You're way tighter. You've got way better songs. You've practiced. I just don't think that bands these days are getting that same. A lot of these places just don't exist anymore to have shows. I don't know. If you're a young band and you're reading this, if you're listening to this, you're watching it, are there still basement shows? Are there still community center shows? I'm curious. Do tell. $12,000 is very expensive for a guitar. And if I'm being straight up with you, I think that if someone bought that, it'd probably be a lawyer guitar where it's like, how many of the sexiest custom PRSs that you see are probably never played. They're probably bought by rich people and put into those glass cases in their man caves. And, you know how it goes. You guys have seen those before, right? All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much to Bogren Digital. I'm going to pick my winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Ronnie Webster. Ronnie Webster, today, my friend, you are going to win yourself the amp knob, the fucking amp knob of your choice. Not a suite, but an amp knob, not a bundle, but an amp knob. And you let me know what that is. and the email address you have used for your Bogren Digital account, and I will make sure that you get the amp knob of your dreams. I would like to say thank you to Bogren Digital for all of the plugins that you've seen the last couple of days, and you will see a few more tomorrow as well. I'm going to do a stream tomorrow where we're going to get to those last 3 Marshall amp knobs, and then the second half of this guy is going to be bass, or we'll start with bass and finish with the Marshalls. I'm not sure quite yet, but that's going to be in the next couple of days, probably tomorrow actually, because Sunday I'm going to get my ass kicked by a very, very large golf course that happens to have a disc golf course on it. I'm about to get absolutely worked by this place. It's probably going to eat a couple of discs. It always does. But we like it anyway. So that's what I'll be doing Sunday. So Saturday, I think I'm going to be back here tomorrow with something else to do with Bogren Digital. Can't wait. Hopefully you guys are there as well. Wow, Lost Society with crazy solos. Jeebus. All right, so guys, once again, what did we go over today? We went over the 2 MLCs, which are both sick. The 2 MLC Sub-Zero and also the MLC Sub-Zero 93 Celanos edition can both be had right now during the autumn sale. Go and get them right now. 79 euros. Don't know how much that is in US dollars right now. I should probably look up the exchange. But nonetheless, you can get both of those for a song and a dance in order for what you're getting. The amp knobs, the fucking knobs are, I think, around 50 bucks. Or no, they're less. They're like 30 something bucks right now. Either way, they've got lots of great prices. Also, drum software. Drum software also available. The brand new Eloy Casagrande plugin available from Bogren Digital. Guys, it's a sick plugin. I'm not sure if I'm going to have it in time for the stream tomorrow, although it was suggested to me that maybe I play along to some drum MIDI with the bass instead of just kind of going, dry bass. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, thank you once again. Please do like and subscribe. We always like it when you do that. If you're not subscribed and you watch us, that's cool too. I don't mind. I'm not going to dangle that little statistic and be like, you're not subscribed. You're your own person. But we would like it if you did. We would like it if you did. And you'll get more up-to-date notifications, and we'll get to watch more of the content. Also, feel free to comment after the fact, after these live streams, in the comments below. That's also appreciated. I will get back to you usually within a couple of weeks. I check it once a week or once every couple of weeks. I'm bad like that. Thanks so much once again. Appreciate it. Bogren IR packs tomorrow? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do some Bogren IRs tomorrow as well. Cheers. All right, guys. Thank you so very much, and we'll see you guys next time.